what is up, Internet? This is Kai with Slapshot Toys and Comics doing another DC Collectables action figure review. Tonight we're going to be taking a look at the Designer Series Greg Capullo Joker action figure. As soon as this was announced, I'm a huge Greg Capullo art fan. As soon as this figure was announced, I knew I had to get it, so I've been waiting for like a year since they gave out the first promo pictures, but it's finally out. I was able to find this at my local comic book store. Unfortunately, it was the only one they had left, so this figure could possibly be a little bit harder to get a hold of, but you may be able to find it wherever DC Collectibles are sold. But like I said, I'm super excited for this figure. Love Capullo's artwork, so let's go ahead and get Joker out of the packaging. And here's the Joker out of the packaging, and my first impressions are this figure is absolutely beautiful. The sculpting work alone is phenomenal. I can't believe they got this much detail and this much likeness to the Greg Capullo artwork. And I mean, it's just a wonderful, wonderful Joker piece, especially if you're a fan of Greg Capullo or the new 52 Endgame storyline. But let's go ahead and take a closer look at the accessories that DC Collectibles has given us. First up, we're going to take a look at the revolver this figure comes with, and this thing looks really cool. I really like the little joke banner right there that says Bang on it. That looks really cool. The bang is painted really nicely on it, really nice and clear what it says. Really like the gunmetal gray that they used here on the body of the gun. That looks really nice. I mean, even like the hammer right there sculpted in, trigger looks really good. And just like kind of the two-tone of the silver and the dark gray just looks really good on the body of the gun. The grip looks really good as well. This is just a really cool revolver to come with this figure. Next up, we're going to take a look at the axe that the Joker, and this is a spoiler, but the Joker uses this in the new 52 in-game storyline to cut off Alfred's hand, which I think is kind of cool that they included this, because I mean, it's such a sinister Joker that it's a cool accessory to have. But the accessory itself, I mean, the head is sculpted wonderfully. Like all the little like nicks out of it. The paint looks wonderful with the dark and the light silvers. I think that looks really good. The handle, not a whole lot going on. The sculpting looks really good with like the little bends there. But I mean, there's a couple like little nicks like down here towards the bottom that look really cool. But as far as the paint, I mean, there's some darker browns weathering there at the bottom, but not a whole lot going on the axe. But it's still a really cool axe. Taking a closer look at the Joker himself, like I said in the beginning, I think the sculpting is absolutely brilliant. I'm a huge fan, like I said, of Greg Capullo's art, and I think his and Scott Snyder's version of the Joker, especially in Endgame, was just so sinister, almost like a demonic presence, just the way he was so ruthless, so evil. It was almost a haunting representation of the Joker, and I absolutely loved every second of it. I think honestly, Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo's run is probably my favorite Batman run, and probably my favorite storyline is Endgame. I thought it was just absolutely brilliantly done, and they captured all that evilness and just absolute sinister look in this figure, and I can't applaud DC Collectibles enough. This looks fantastic. But taking a closer look at the figure, like I said, I mean, just his face. Look how evil that is. Look at those eyes. Look at all this sculpting here in the forehead. I mean, everything about this just screams off the page of how evil Greg Capullo drew the Joker. And I mean, it's almost a haunting figure itself. But I mean, just all the sculpting, the teeth and the grin just look phenomenal. Then you go over here, the paint apps, once again, are just wonderful. You get the reds there in the eye, you get the red on the lips. I mean, this is just a wonderfully designed figure. You get the little browns and all the different creases in his face. I mean, it just looks stunning. I love this green that they use for his hair. And once again, that's sculpted wonderfully as well. This is just a cool piece. And mainly, it's all the face. I mean, that's what I just love about this figure. It's just how detailed and how just awesome this sculpt of this face is. I'm going down to this jacket, and once again, this looks really cool. I mean, pretty basic design, not a whole lot of sculpting and everything, but it's definitely a suit jacket, so you know what it is. Like the little undershirt there, got some wrinkles there on the neck of the Joker as well. And then going down, nice tie, sculpted really nice in there. And then the one thing I do like is they actually use kind of a rubbery material here on the jacket. So it actually doesn't really hinder articulation all that much. So that's a really nice design choice. Plus it just looks really nice, all the wrinkles there in the suit. Arms look really good with all the wrinkles and creases. Undershirt there goes down to the wrist. And then he has his gloves on, which are kind of dirty and an off-white, which look really, really nice. I like the little sculpted lines right there. It just looks really cool. And then going down the legs, again, not a whole lot going on, just a basic suit pant. But it looks really good with all the creases. And then they had the nice shiny shoes there with all the different stitching lines. Everything all sculpted out looks really good. Nothing really a whole lot on the bottom, just the peg hole. But just overall, especially the face sculpt is just absolutely brilliant on this figure. Now taking a look at the secondary face that DC Collectables has given us, this thing is just absolutely stunning as well. So this is like the battle damaged. So he's missing, half the hair there, and then he's got the open wound right there on the side of his cheek. I mean, this just looks absolutely wonderful as well. All the sculpted detail that has gone into this. And once again, you just get that sinister grin. And even with like his face just as torn up as this is, he's still evil. He's still just smiling. I mean, this is just a wonderful capture of Greg Capullo's just haunting art. I mean, just the eyes on this thing. I mean, I don't know how well it's shown through the camera, but I mean, it's just creepy. But they did such a wonderful job capturing it, and this is an awesome head as well. I'm having a bit of trouble deciding which head I'm actually going to keep on this figure, because this one is so well done as well. Taking a closer look at the articulation, it is fairly standard DC Collectible fare, but there is one really big piece that I don't like at all, and I'll get to that here in a second. But as far as the head, he does have side-to-side rotation. He can look up just a little bit, and he can look down actually quite a bit. That works really nicely. Now the big flaw, there is no hinge here at the shoulders, so he cannot go out at all. That is it. The only the only movement he has is rotation all the way around. He is cut there at the bicep, so there is a bit of swivel there. He does go 90 degrees there at his elbow, and then he does rotate only at his wrist. There's no real hinge or movement up and down at the wrist. So the arm movement, especially with the no movement as far as up and down on the wrist and the shoulders, that's a huge deal for me. But I mean, it's how they designed the figure, so I'm working with it. As far as the legs, like I said, this is a rubber material, so it can actually kick out a decent amount, nothing too crazy or anything like that, but it's the Joker, so he's not going to get into super crazy wide poses or anything like that. He can kick back actually quite a bit. And once again, I really like that they use that rubber material. It just makes the articulation work on the legs a lot better than what it could have if that was a hard plastic. He is jointed there at the knee, so it goes about 90 degrees, and then there is rotation here at the foot. Once again, there is no ankle pivot, and there is no up and down motion because of the pants hinder that. And here's a quick comparison of the Greg Capullo Joker next to the Greg Capullo Batman. And I think the scale's pretty good. I like that the Batman is a lot bulkier than the Joker, and the Joker is a little bit more of like the tall, lanky, skinny. They're about the exact same height. I think Batman maybe just a little bit taller with the ears, but I think overall the scale's pretty good. So that is going to do it for me for the DC Collectables Designer Series Greg Capullo Joker action figure review. Once again, I think this is just an absolutely stunning piece. It's haunting, it's creepy, it's sinister, it's evil looking. It's everything that a Greg Capullo Joker should be, and they just captured his artwork phenomenally in this piece. The sculpting on the face alone is worth a purchase. If you're a Joker fan, if you're a Capullo fan, if you're an Endgame fan, find this figure. It's worth every penny. The articulation, like I said, in a couple spots, especially the arms, is a bit lacking, but you know what? You'll work with it. It's not all that bad. I've been able to get it into some pretty cool poses, which I'll have at the end of the video. But overall, this is a stunning piece. Make sure you add this to your collection if you're a Joker fan. The face alone is worth every penny. So once again, that is going to do it for me this evening. I want to thank you guys so much for checking out these videos. It means a lot that you guys watch them. If you guys did like this video, make sure you guys go ahead, hit that like button. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought of this figure, what you think of Capullo's artwork, Snyder and Capullo's New 52 run, Endgame, anything you guys want to talk about. I'd love to hear from you guys. And go ahead and make sure you guys go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That way you don't miss out on any of the future content I'll be uploading, including 2 Hot Toys reviews, which I hopefully will have up here within the next 2 weeks or so. As well, I'm going to 2 cons here in the next 3 weeks, so hopefully I'll be able to find some goodies there I can review. Go ahead and subscribe so you guys don't miss out on any of that content. But that's going to do it for me this evening, and I'll catch you guys later. See ya.